The aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafted through the air as I walked into Café de l'Amour, a charming little cafe tucked away in the heart of the city. It was one of those places that seemed to possess an enchanting quality, a place where stories were born. Little did I know that on this ordinary day, my story was about to take an extraordinary turn. I had come to the cafe to escape the hustle and bustle of life, to lose myself in the comforting embrace of a good book. As I settled into a cozy corner table with a steaming latte in hand, my gaze drifted out the window. The city outside was a blur of motion, but within these four walls, time seemed to slow down. As I immersed myself in the world of words, my attention was suddenly drawn to the sound of laughter. Turning my head, I saw a group of friends at the adjacent table, sharing stories and smiles. Among them, one man stood out. He had an easy confidence about him, his laughter was infectious, and his eyes sparkled with a mischievous charm. It was as if he held the secret to eternal happiness. I couldn't help but steal glances at him, my heart doing a little dance each time our eyes met. He had noticed me too, I could tell, and there was an unspoken connection in those stolen moments of eye contact. Minutes turned into hours as I lost myself in my book, all the while aware of his presence nearby. It felt like an eternity before he finally mustered the courage to approach my table. "Excuse me," he said, his voice warm and inviting. "I couldn't help but notice you from across the room. You seem lost in a world of your own, and I was wondering if I could join you there." His words were like a spell, and I couldn't resist his magnetic pull. Introductions were made, and I learned that his name was Alex. As we talked, it was as if the cafe's bustling background noise faded away, leaving only his voice and my laughter in the air. We shared stories of our dreams and aspirations, our favorite travel destinations, and our love for art and music. As the hours passed, it became clear that we were kindred spirits. The cafe, with its cozy ambience and aromatic coffee, had become the backdrop to a burgeoning connection that felt destined to happen. As evening descended and the cafe's patrons began to thin out, Alex and I realized that it was time to part ways. But before he left, he extended a hand and asked for my number. I hesitated for just a moment before sharing it. It was a leap of faith, a step into the unknown, but something in his eyes told me that this was the beginning of something beautiful. In the days and weeks that followed, Alex and I shared countless more moments in Café de l'Amour. Our love blossomed, as if the cafe itself had become a sanctuary for our hearts. We became inseparable, our lives intertwining like the ivy on the cafe's quaint exterior. It was in that cafe where we had first met that Alex eventually confessed his feelings, and I found the courage to admit that I had fallen in love with him too. Our love story was written in the pages of that cafe, a story that began with stolen glances and laughter and grew into a beautiful, enduring love. And so, as I sit here, penning the tale of how I met the love of my life in Café de l'Amour, I am reminded that sometimes, in the most unexpected places and in the most ordinary moments, true love finds a way to bloom.